Jewelry have over the years become a symbol of status, an attribute which has raised their demand and consequently their value, while their supply is being depleted. The search for the hidden treasures in Malawi is a new phenomenon practiced by both illegal artisanal and corporate miners. They all scratch the ground for minerals ranging from gold to sand. Artisanal miners and workers in big mines work in precarious conditions, with women facing discrimination, sexual abuse and loss of agricultural land. Mining activities are on the rise in Balaka district. Companies and small-scale artisanal miners, including women, take part in these activities. Prospects for greater opportunities and development from mining activities have consequently been raised among community members. Meanwhile, dreams of prosperity are already waning as uncontrolled devastating effects of mining have already begun, rearing their ugly faces even at the exploration stage. In 2019, a Chinese gold mining company failed to pay compensation for acquisition of farmlands belonging to 89 families in Chitimbe village in the area of Traditional Authority, Palula. Eliza and her brother's farmland was destroyed. It was the only treasure left by their parents. The little portion of land they cultivate now can no longer produce enough food for their two families.
Kampani mera bora munda mwatu idebeza chimanga yotachadzalidwa mundamo nde adatapeleka ndrama after 2 weeks ife dadikira kuti muna kanati gwa chakudya ndizo chaka chimene tinagona osarani osakulola chimanga sosina kuifanda masitina asirina patsidwe ndanononga ndithu mundawo kwambiri woti mpakana panopa ngoti sizonse kuti tingati tikulimamo munichenga ndithu dzimitengo chani dzili muti zili menemo ndiye ngoti ndikovuta kwambiri kuti ife panopa tipeze kuti tipa mtendere mavuto okhoka ndithu ndameneyo ntchito ya ulimi imayenda bwino chifukwa tili ngasi kumene sana nonge machena kukoti timalimako ndiye munda unali wakulu ndithu ngoti timati tikalima modongosolo timakula ngolo 8 kapena 9 mapanopa timabwera muna ngolo ziwiri imuna imodzi ndi hafu nzori tipachiopsezo ndithu ati nthemeneyo tidzifuwa tinali nalo ndithu oti ng'ombe zinalipo mbuzi zinepo zibe zambiri ndezitakhanga kuti mmene anawe unonga chimanga choncho poti nangati panga bwanji mazo kuti no tinapeza kuti nagwisa tidzifuwa tija magula chimanga kugwisa chifuwa ija mawara magula moti pana apo pandaikhola ng'ombe apo.
A mother of 7 children is now forced to rent other people's farmlands as her agricultural land was rendered unusable. The land was left with heaps of sand and deep trenches.
Denda munda manga fa manga dote munda mtwina mega munda manga jipili mpa munda maonongo basi dzimiyala dzimuri makwali muri mene mayenje mene toto ulima ime muri munda pano basi nanga sisi munda malendi munda ngo nthaka mukusofereza muna ma 5 na 4 pajaka alanduza munda ka apika 3 milioni nagaza lenza gwa ng'ombe manga nyumba yanga ana kusukuza bana sukulu ndangoja kudya.
Agnes lost her thriving irrigation farmland and a fish pond.
Mbali imene anandionongera chimangayo yokwana hafu yekala malo ena adandikumbira damu pamene panali mitengo imene nditangokera imene ya zipatso yoti mwina pofika zaka zinozo zipatso zidakakhala zitayamba kubereka. Ndinali ndi damu la nsomba machaina atabwera adadza kumbaso atakumba basi kuyikamo madzi nkumapopera chani ku mainjini yawo ofuna golide. Ndalama zimene ndidakamati ndidzilipirira ana sukulu ndi zimene tinagwiritsa ntchito kugula chimanga moti ananga awiri ena analephera kuti apitirize maphunziro awo chaka chimenecho anakhala pa khomo mbuzi ndikagulitsa ndinkakagula chakudya ndikumadya.
These experiences have forced people in the village to stop mining exploration activities by foreign companies until compensation is paid.
Tukufundisa boma lilipire kwa anthu mabanja folo, anthu 89 mabanja folo alandire chipepeso. Ife kuno timembekezera kuti kampani ya China iti tukula, ndipo ife ndanyadira kuti tilembedwa ntchito mabanja mwathu asintha, ana athu apita ku skulu mosavuta. Koma lero lino tagwira manja nkhosi. Ndiye ine ngati mfumu amene ndili kuno mene kuli golide, ndikupempha boma kuti bomalo lipange chothekera kuti makampani amene akumabwera kuno kudzagwira ntchito adzamba agwira kaye chitukuko chathu kuno.
This is an abandoned mining site by another mining company in Masenjere village in the area of traditional authority Chamtunya. In December 2022, a young boy died in this dam. He drowned while playing with friends near the dam. Part of this site was once a farmland for the boy's mother, who had leased the land to the mining company in 2020 for 500,000 kwacha.
Ine siku imene ndinazalawirapo ananazasiya pompa. Ndinapita kwa Senzani. Ndi kwa Senzani kuja ndabwera kuja ma 2. Mene nkabwera nazapeza anthu akuzungulira pa damupo. Ndiye nazafusa nsikana kuti anthu akufuna kuja ku damuko. Ndiye nsikana ja kuti dani lwagwera pa mazipo mama omwe. Ndiye mangona ngati alikosewera. Ndiye ndapita kukamfufuza kwa anzake kuja. Anzake anati kuti wagwera pa damu mama omwe. Yetu ndiye mpamela nkauza zibambo kuti azikamusaka pa mazipo. Anamwalira pa 27 ndike pa 28 December 2022. Namva kupweteka kale. Faka nakauta anagwirirapo zimene zonse zikanachitika. Kwanga ndikudandaula kuti akanachigwiririrapo chidamu chimene chichi. Chifukwa kuti ngozi swetha machitikabe. Chikiraso mwina kwa anthu ena. Minda athu sokuti itani ibwerere tizilima.
Stelia, who owns part of this site, said when acquiring this land, the company refused to pay them 1 million kwacha, alleging that the mineral being sought is less priced on the market.
Malo wanali 1.5 acre. Ndiye ndirama imene timafuna ifeyo ndi 1.2 million. Ndanati uza kuti ndirama mukufunayo ndi ambiri kwambiri potengera ndi imene miyala imene tikufuna. Miyala imene tikufuna ndi miyala yoti ndiyotsika mtengo kwambiri. Malo mwake ndi imene amafika 500,000 potengera kuti sinanga kumudzi kuno ndalama ndiyovutikira. Tinapezeka kuti tinavomereza ndipo tinapatsidwa, koma kupatsidwa kwake kunali kuvutikiranso. Amayipereka koma mapang'ono-pang'ono. Malo wati malima chimanga ndi zimbewu zina ndi zina. Mapeza zokolola zochuluka pafupifupi matumba 20 chakuti pano panangokhala ngati ndi malo kuti basa anagwiritsidwa ntchito. Sitilibenso kuti tingalimepo mbewu ina iliyonse, ndi malo tamangokhala kufikira lunena pano. Zikukhala zovuta kwambiri chifukwa sitikwanisa chakudya choti tingathe kudya chaka chonse. Zikumakhala zinthu zovuta kwambiri.
Realizing the devastating social and economic impacts of mining on the development of women, the Qadria Muslim Association of Malawi and the Southern Africa Trust have initiated a project aimed at increasing the knowledge of mining stakeholders, especially women, so that they can participate and respond to mining activities from an informed position.
The project itself is an eye-opener, both to the communities as well as to the government side and the CSOs. From the inception of the project, we have seen much interest emanating from the communities, the district councils, even some other stakeholders at national level. There are issues that are going unnoticed in communities. There are issues that women do face that affects their rights, but because they were not knowing that this is a problem, those issues were going unnoticed. We believe if we create this platform, it is going to unearth some of the problems that have been happening and that have been going unnoticed in these communities.
Balaka District Council Office admits that the devastation that affected Balaka communities due to mining activities were a result of communication gap and COVID-19, which forced companies to leave the sites before concluding land acquisition processes.
I think there was communication gap between the community, the grassroots community, the stakeholders, Malawi City Council, and even at the central level, there was that information gap. As of now, we are working hand in hand with mining department to see whether this company still exists or not, and where are they now. But with these 4 families that were affected, it was very unfortunate. And also, because we have learned the lesson on that, now no any activity is happening before any disturbance allowance or the compensation payment. As you know, exploration stages, there's different types of explorations, but most of the explorations, they do not need to pay for compensations because that company went there to do exploration, not the actual mining. But later on, we realized that they were doing actual extraction of that. So there was that gap. Now we are sensitizing community to say, what do you mean when we say exploration? These are the activities. If there's an anomaly, they should report right there and there. That happened. And all stakeholders, they have to blame all stakeholders, starting from the community level, us as the district council, the CSOs, the NGOs, even the mining department, because we did not regulate those activities in time. So we are in the planning processes to say that now I think we should backfill all those trenches and pits. I think maybe in 2024 we'll do that.
Balaka has no records of sexual abuse, but district officials do not rule out occurrences of gender-based violence, as is the case with other mining sites across the country.
Issues of gender-based violence might indeed take place in this sector, because the mining sector will also be surrounded by women and girls, as well as men and boys. So issues of sexual harassment, issues of discrimination, issues of defilement might happen in this mining sector. And also women might be in maybe an unsafe environment when working in the mines. They don't have protective equipment. So the first and most important thing that I would think can be done is issue of policy development in terms of looking at women participation in the mining industry.
Women artisanal miners also work in precarious conditions with improvised tools for the work.
Kanesoka golide ngoti inayambidwa 2012 timampeza mitsinje momwe basi kuli sungwi kuchisimbwiti muchitimbe timangurati yese apa munopeza palibe yese apo peza munapona tsiku lose la lunthu kodi osantani osampeza fazipangizo zokumbira golide zoyezera lilibe alakangoti kopezeka zipangizozo nimuna ndikubweka bongo kena kakoti atipesa zipangizozo lili zigwitsenje tidziye zoti apa pali kanthu apa palibe kanthu zitothandiza.
Despite their hard work, gold prices are determined by middlemen.
Sikawo ngori ulinde mavuto ndithu fari nangasi mipano pa zinthu zoti zakwera mapeza kuti golideyo sanarasana kwezi mitengo anthu ngoti amachoka kuti amiro okhangara kubwera kuno ndechi mwapange ocho ngati ngaso zoti pangani mwakukweza ni mtengo amazipangira moyo okhawo ndena akakweza mumanga pangire mufere makagwitsa mtengo wake kuti omwewo akazipanga nene kuti ati apa takwezere ndi mnamara namapangira mabe ndizovuta kwa ife. Monga pano gwede ndimene ovutira ukapeza timati maponto eti monga pano ponto ndiye 1000 ndekuti upezere pontoyo pomakhala nyengo ndithu morambisa amatofikiriza.
Women are the most marginalized in the sector, yet bear the consequences of their activities.
Generally, much as the mining activities has negatively affected both men and women in our societies, in communities, specifically in Baraka, we have seen that the impacts of mining activities are much higher to the women's side than men. For example, in terms of discriminatory income in the mining sector, this has resulted in women being given lower wages than men. The issue of environmental damage, on the other hand, when these mining activities are happening, they happen in the environment. And when the land is polluted, when the waters are contaminated, it's a woman who faces the primary consequences for that, because the general health well-being of the households in the hands of women. And even to issues of compensation, we do understand that whenever mining activities are happening, for example in Balaga, where we are hearing that a new mining investor is in the offing, and by next year some construction works will start taking place, and this mining is projected to take a lifespan of over 50 years. So we need women to understand that when they are participating, they have to know what they are doing, what they are going to get. The communities should understand that women are also human beings. They should be treated equal as men. If we are talking of issues of compensation, it should go beyond just giving people monies as a compensation for their land. But we need also to ensure that the government is putting in effort to prepare these people to the new mode of life that they are going to face wherever they will be going.
To support these women, the Balaka District Council is promoting cooperatives, but says it needs more support.
We are very aware of these challenges that women face in this industry. You know, women are doing a lot, whether it's illegal or legal in mining activities and all that. They're carrying soils, trade soils from morning to evening, but we find that the wage that they are receiving is maybe below the minimum wage. You see, as a council, we are organizing those artisanal mining, especially women, to group them into cooperatives, so they should be trained and form cooperatives. At least 40% of that should be women in those cooperatives. So you can see that now we're also geared to incorporate more women in this mining sector.
The District Council has already started taking steps towards addressing existing loopholes. Companies have to pass through laid-down procedures before starting any activity. The Council is also developing bylaws to enforce compliance by mining operators.
In the past years, we could see that companies could come. They have been given license, whether it's a prospective license or exploration license. They would just come straight into the community and start doing their exploration activities, which was anomaly. But now things have changed, that each and every company has to pass all the processes. They should have passed through DEC, service committee, full council, the ADC, until at the community level. But the challenge remains the same. To say, you know, all the royalties, taxes, and all that, they go straight to the central government. But as a council, in the local communities, we rely on social responsibility. But now, with the amendment of Mining Act, now they're saying all large companies, it is a mandate now that they should give back to the community, 0.45 as a minimum to the community. But now we are fighting to say no, this should not end at large-scale miners. But now you see you have middle, medium, you have small, even the artisanal mining. All those, they should take responsibility to give, at least give back to the community. That should be spelled clear and cut in the mining laws.
Amplifying voices and participation of women in mining project intends to support women and communities to realize the benefits of the mining activities in their area.
In the Malawi 2063, mining has been mentioned or has been identified as one of the sector. So it is the interest of QMAM to contribute towards Malawi's national goal. But from the faith perspective, QMAM is inspired by Islamic faith. So the Holy Book, which is the Quran, Allah has commanded man to be his vicegerent on earth. That is his representative, meaning Allah created everything. So then he created man to look after those things. So in that realm, QMAM is interested in the mining sector to ensure that it is a responsive sector, accountable, transparent, and also inclusiveness. Women are coming in on the issue of gender, participation in mining issues, but also whenever land is taken, the government comes in, and then the district council comes in, and then it starts compensation. Men are in front, whereas women are at the receiving end. Yet the sufferings are mostly borne by the women. If you see, you go to a mining company, you find the most people who will be employed to do some non-skilled work, they will be men, leaving women behind. And also, when the mining company recruit people, they will recruit people from other areas and bring into the mining sites. So what they will do is, they also impregnate women. You find women doing artisanal mining, quarry, doing what, so several issues. But are their voice heard? We have gone to various indabas where mostly Malawi is represented by men. So he said, okay, this project with funding from SAT, I think it will help us amplifying the women's voice by bringing them to participate in all the mining cycles. They can mobilize themselves to work as women, to operate within the small and medium mining artisanal mines, so they will be able to group themselves.
The experiences of the people in Balaka district are just one example of the many problems faced by communities where mining activities take place in Malawi. As more mining companies continue to open in Balaka district and across the country, there's need for stakeholders to take concrete actions to address the devastating effects of these activities on people's lives, including investigating issues of compensation for lost livelihoods of the people in these communities. Most importantly, Qadria Muslim Association of Malawi and civil society organizations should support the government in monitoring these activities to ensure that the people, including women, benefit from these mining activities and minimize its adverse effects.